Welcome back. After months of waiting, we finally got word today from Boeing that it has completed its software fix for the 737 MAX.
So what's next? King 5 aviation specialist Glenn Farley joins us now. Glenn, what are we talking about here?
Well, we're actually talking about a lot when you really start to unpack this. Boeing says it's made over 200 flights and flown more than 360 hours to test the update to the MCAS system, which is connected to the two major crashes of new 737 MAX jets in the last 7 months. Quoting from a company statement, quote, "We're committed to providing the FAA and global regulators all the information they need and to get it right. We're making clear and steady progress and are confident that the 737 MAX with an updated MCAS software will be one of the safest airplanes ever to fly. The accidents have only intensified our commitment to our values, including safety, quality, and integrity, because we know lives depend on what we do." Now, for Boeing, there is another critical step we've been telling you about, a certification flight aboard the 737 MAX 7 aircraft, that one there. That has not yet been scheduled, and I'm learning that the FAA has to be satisfied with everything else before that flight goes. The modified software is expected to do several things: dramatically limit how far the MCAS system can control the horizontal stabilizer at the back of the airplane. It will rely on 2 angle of attack sensors instead of just one, and only allow the MCAS to activate once instead of repeatedly. That was a big problem in that crash back in Indonesia in October. So this is the situation we're now in. We're going to have to see what happens here.
I mean, there was no timeline, obviously, given for FAA approval and the test flight.
So, you know, are we going to have, is it just going to be the FAA and everybody? So I think the FAA does not want to be in a position. Remember, there was a hearing yesterday where the acting administrator for the FAA was on the hot seat in front of Congress, a congressional committee. Basically, I don't think they want to be seen as sort of rubber stamping this. So the question is how long this is going to take.
Can we be confident, Glenn, that this is the actual fix when the final accident reports aren't even out for those 2 other crashes?
We know that the flight data from these crashes indicated that this MCAS went off, because they have that kind of that resolution off these flight data recorders, these modern flight data recorders. So they have that kind of information. There will be another component of this, which is how the pilots handled that emergency. That we really won't get a final, answer on for months yet.
Okay.
Glenn, thanks.